Hi, I'm Sheba.
I'm Anjo.
We have the honor and privilege of co-leading junior high ministry here at church. We started this ministry.
Yeah, just probably mid-year.
Yep.
Yeah, we started around August or so. It's been amazing for us. Um, I feel like more than us teaching or like just being there, I feel like we've actually learned so much more as individuals. Also, learning how their lives are in this current world.
Yeah.
It's been pretty. It's been really nice.
I think something that we saw over the months that we met with the kids is that they want to spend time with us. They want to talk. They want to share things, and that's been very overwhelming and also at the same time very comforting for us to know that these kids come to us with expectations of wanting to be heard and wanting to be seen, and also at the same time being encouraged in the word, and also that the church and God would find this fit enough to be able to do something like this.
Yeah,
So
I
it's a great privilege.
It really is. It's been amazing. Just like Sheba mentioned, the fact that we get to do this is a privilege in itself. But the fact that the kids are so open to us and being willing to tell us how their lives are and how like how they deal with different things like anxieties, peer pressure, the weight of school, their friends. It's incredible. It's also like really surprising because it's not something that we had to deal with as individuals growing up. But it's crazy how much the world has changed and how much they're willing to talk to us and listen to us, even for advice or just being there to hear us out. It's been amazing. What we've been able to do so far is for the first few sessions were of course like a little playful, just getting to know each other, like playing games, learning stuff about each other. But over the months, we've actually gone into a study of Daniel. We've actually gone halfway through chapter 2, but it's been amazing. And I think just comparing the lives of Daniel and his friends back then and comparing it to now, like just having to deal with pressure, dealing with like a time that is just so different, challenging with challenges around. It's been great. We do it like a Bible study. We ask them to read it first, and then we ask questions, and we just go into like a 5-minute teaching time.
So usually we try to emphasize a lot on how much time we spend in prayer after we do a Bible study. It's also about us knowing that all these kids are blessed and privileged to be enough to be growing in families that do know the Lord. And so we don't emphasize a lot on what we learn from the Word, but it's also about how we can apply it in our practical lives. For these kids, apply it in their schools, in their friendships, in their families. And so we do take intentional time to pray. The girls get to meet with me, and the boys get to meet with Anjo, and then we share prayer requests. We pray with them, and we follow up with them as much as we can later, so that they know that they're not just it's not just a one-time meet kind of a thing, and they have complete accountability when they're here with us. It's also been very encouraging to know that sometimes we think that these are passages and scriptures that we've read so many times, but when you curate it in a way that you have to teach kids, you read and understand passage so much more differently. And that has been very eye-opening for us personally to know that, oh, this is what I understand, but also for kids, also for these age groups, how that's like, and how can we cater it to them in a way that it's more applicable for them. And it's also so beautiful to understand that even as believers ourselves, we have so much to learn and grow. We've at no point can we ever say that we are the best form of Christians, because we never are and we never will be. But as a church, as a group, we are continuing to grow in our faith towards the Lord, and that we get to do this together with the kids. And honestly, we're just excited to see how this is going to go forward in the coming years.
I think beginning a ministry in itself is always challenging. I think for us it was, we were just like 2 months into marriage, and
Yeah, we had so many questions.
yeah, this we never led a ministry together. I mean, individually, but
We
together.
we've not been
it
together
was-
long enough to do a ministry, so
Yeah, so it was definitely a challenge. I think it was just the inexperience that made us like kind of anxious in the beginning. I remember the first time we met, I was like pacing around because I was just so nervous. I'm like, will they like me? Like, will I be like,
yeah.
would I be engaging enough? But it's been so great. It's had its challenges, but I think the kids have made us really feel at home. They do a lot of the talking too, and that's great because they keep us comfortable and they allow others to be comfortable inside the room too. So it's honestly, we haven't had many challenges so far.
Yeah, honestly, we haven't had many challenges because I think because we just started the ministry this year, we're still navigating through how much we can meet with the kids and how often we can have these meetings, and do these kids want to meet us regularly, and even if that wants to happen in terms of like, okay, parents drop them off, availability and things. So it's more of the logistics versus actually meeting with the kids. Like you said, we were anxious in the beginning. What if they won't talk or they won't share? But we were surprised that even from the first meeting, they were all ready to just pour. And I was like, okay, we need more time for this. So it's been fun. Yeah.
They've been really comfortable, which I like. Growing up, I didn't think I would like somebody like me would be as comfortable, but they've been really comfortable, and they've helped us become comfortable too. So yeah, it's honestly a privilege just to be with them.
I think it also helps we have a good dynamic of personalities within our group, so it helps keep everyone at ease. And I hope that continues to be the case as years go by, because then it's gonna be dry.
Even more than, I mean, of course we teach word, we are in discussions about what a single passage does or what scripture does, but more importantly for us, especially what's important is that they have a safe space to just talk through what they're going through, what they're dealing with. And I think that's what we want to harbor, and that's what we want to invest in too, is just to like have time to talk about how their lives are, and then just to pray about it, like as the scriptures teach us.
I think the expectation is also that for a new family coming to church, and if they do have kids who are in the age range that fits in our group, that the parents have the choice to send their kids, and then we would give them that choice. Tell them about our ministry and tell them how it works. What do we do in our meetings, so parents know what they're sending their kid to, and also letting the parents know that as leaders we are never perfect, but if they do choose to send their kids to our ministry, that the parents should find it comfortable to talk to us about things that they think that their child is going through, and so that we can talk to them better about it if they find it difficult to do it at homes or within homes. Because the real world out there is so difficult. Like, it's hard, and sometimes I think even as parents it's hard for them to navigate what kids go through in schools, and they might think that they're targeting it, but it might not be the case. And so what we hope that we can continue to do over the years is that we'll be a good balance between the kids and the parents, so that they're both parties are at ease with each other, like with talking with us.
And this ministry is for mainly the 6th through the 10th graders, which is a very like challenging time, because they're getting into the real world. They're getting to understand like how crazy the world is. And just having like brothers and sisters around them who's able to pray for them, who's able to talk to them, keep them accountable, which is so important. These are some of the things that we want to really highlight and emphasize in these meetings.
I think it definitely has to be us doing this. This is like the biggest shocker of the year.
I don't think we ever thought we were capable of doing.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, we wanted to do ministry together, but I don't think like I ever saw myself being that great with kids. First of all, because I'm usually on the more quieter side, but it's been great. Like they've made us comfortable.
Yeah.
They really have, and I know we keep telling telling
Keep
that same
emphasizing
thing
it,
over
yeah.
and over again, but it's so true. Yeah, I think that's honestly the biggest shocker.
Biggest
the fact
shocker.
that the fact that we're able to do this, or
Yeah.
that we've been able to do it for a couple of times and nobody's complained yet. So.
Nobody's complained. They've never said that they were bored. We've never seen any yawns happening or things like that. The kids go back saying that they want to spend more time or have more of this, and that makes us feel happy. So, getting into the new year, and because we're just a few months into the ministry, we definitely want to see how more accountable we can get the kids be with us, and also as we dive into passage and scripture and all of that, how as leaders we can be better accountable for these children's lives, be it in schools, be it in the friendships that they have, even using things like social media, and how do you navigate through conversations such as relationships and identity issues, choosing their career. Not that we're experts on it. I never was, I never am, but knowing that they have a safe place to come and at least talk about it, and we can at least keep them in prayer.
We definitely want to, I think 2025, we definitely want to see just it being actually more frequent.
Yeah.
Like, I know we meet once a month right now, but, slowly make it like every 3 weeks, or hopefully become more frequent. Maybe we can, do like socials together, go out.
Missional.
Yeah, like it's not always like, like, oh, like church setting, but we can always get to be more relational, and I think that's the goal. We've definitely not like planned it out properly yet, but I think if these are our goals, these are ideas that we definitely want to like implement. The things that we heard the most about, like how, like, man, like we're like this, why are you like that, or like having to deal with that, having to deal with, oh, I don't support that, or I can't say yes to things like that. It's challenging, and like we were talking about identity issues, we never had to face that. Like we never had to go through things like that, but it's such a real question for these kids. Like even schools, and I mean they don't like stop them from having conversations like that either. So that's, I think, one of the biggest challenges, especially because us as individuals, I'm pretty sure their parents might not have like encountered such an issue before either. So I think peer pressure is definitely something that we've seen.
Sometimes they get really bothered by knowing that there are other Christians or believers that go to school with them that don't take a stand for things that they should be taking a stand for. And then they're questioning, like, we're doing all this, but we see him, he is a Christian, he's a believer, but he doesn't do it that way. He does things differently. And these kids, even when they're sharing things like that, you can see that they know that this is bad, they're not supposed to do it. But in my heart, I'm also like, how close are they to also being that other person who could easily go do the wrong thing? And so that's why gender identity and your identity and all of that becomes so important. Understanding relationships and friendships becomes so important, and helping them navigate through that, because making friends, your social life is so important in these ages, because it kind of forms your identity in school, especially when you're in school for most part of the day or most days in a year. So
honestly, our prayer is that like all their parents are free on a Saturday and able to
drop them off, because they're not capable of coming by themselves.
No, they can't drive, they can't come on their own. And I know a lot of their parents have to sacrifice like maybe work time at home. That's probably the one thing that maybe have people around Dallas who are able to give them like a ride to church. That would be nice.
But I also hope that just us as individuals, like we're able to, our hearts are at a better place of accepting them as a whole, being available for them, versus just on a Saturday in a month.
Oh, 100%.
That they have the freedom to come and talk to us if they wanted to call us or share something with us, that they would find the freedom to do that, irrespective of if we're seeing each other at church or if we're meeting for the junior high meeting. That would be really nice.
No, we've definitely seen encouraging things come out of it. to the point where, some of them are actually asking, hey, can we do this like every week, every day? So I definitely see it being or getting to be transformative in their lives, because they have like a safe space. They get to talk to their brothers and sisters about all these things. So I think that's our biggest selling point, that these kids, and no matter, like, we can't emphasize it enough, we can't highlight it enough, this is a safe space. Like, they can say anything that they want to. They have all the freedom to say the things that they're dealing with, going through, stressing about, and we're not going to judge them. And I think that's what the church calls us to be. That's what God calls us to be, and that's what we want to highlight. Like, yeah, we have the privilege to like, take care of these kids, take care of these children. But you as parents, you give us the honor to do this, and we wanna assure you that we will give them a safe space, and we will try our best. Like, we're not perfect, but every day we're praying for them. We're praying for them individually. We're praying for them, and that's something that's important for us. And we continue to do that, and we will. And our prayer is, as this ministry like grows and unfolds, future generations, that we will continue to do this, and that the church will always be a safe space and nothing else.
I think we also want to thank the church for finding us fit enough to do this ministry, not because we're
100%.
perfect, but also for trusting us to be able to do this. And through all of this, also, the church has been so encouraging. Even the families of the kids who are coming, they've been super encouraging. They've talked about how this has been such a blessing to them. And so we want to thank those families. Thank you for sending your kids, and that even in the coming years, as this ministry grows, that you would continue to send your kids, but also us as leaders, if we falter at any moment, that you would find the freedom to come and talk to us about it.
Absolutely.
Because we're very new to this, and so we want to learn, we want to grow, and we want to tell that we're always at a place that we want to grow and learn from our mistakes. We're not perfect. We're never dealt with kids before, clearly. But thank you to the church, and that in the coming years, when your kids do fit into this age criteria of being in this ministry, that you would trust us enough to send your children to us, so that we can spend time with them, we can just get to know them, and that we can help build their spiritual life that you're already doing a good job of building at homes, that we're able to expand that better outside of just home.